around to every campus and visit students. And it's pretty exciting. I love it. I get to jump around to different places, and I love that. Cody asked me to step in for him tonight since he is out on vacation, probably getting some weird tan lines, so sorry for you guys when he comes back. So I want to start out with a question, and it may cause some debate, but I love a good debate. Not really, I just love to cause chaos and then watch it unravel. So, who here set up their tree November 1st? Anyone? Anyone? Did you say 4th of July it starts? Ah, okay. Who here won't talk about Christmas till after Thanksgiving? That's, okay. I have a hot take. Some of you may look at me differently after I say this. I absolutely despise Thanksgiving. It's my top second least favorite holiday, right behind Groundhog's Day, because I don't get that one either. But I do not like Thanksgiving.
So she likes Day.
I do like St. Patrick's Day.
President's Day.
Yeah. President's Day is
Thanksgiving.
Like, it's great.
But Groundhog Day, she doesn't understand.
But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. But we will be talking about holidays past and holidays present. So tonight I want to talk about the idea and how we need to remember things. So this series is all about what we need to remember and things that are key to remembering. So I want to talk tonight about how we need to remember Jesus is our Savior. Okay? So first I want to define what a Savior is. Some of you may know what a Savior is, some of you may not know. So a Savior is someone who saves someone or something from danger, ruin, or defeat. So I was thinking back in my life, I was like, okay, when was a time that Jesus saved me from danger, ruin, or defeat? I was like, okay, I could talk about how my mom had cancer twice. Like, that was pretty dangerous to her. It was defeating to us as a family. I could talk about that. She's fine and well now, so she's all good. Or I could talk about my past and how I had trouble in relationships. I struggled through that. If I would have kept going on that path, it would have been defeating to me in the longer run. I could talk about how Jesus saved me through that. Or I could talk most recent about how my dad packed up his things and left. That was pretty defeating. That was pretty ruining. But Jesus saved me in all those, in all the big things. And I was praying and I was like, okay, God, which save do you want me to talk about? Like, which of these do you think is most important? And he said to me, he's like, Tara, why don't you talk about the everyday saving that happens? And I was like, that makes no sense because you've done these great things. Why wouldn't I talk about these great big things? And I think it's because we need to remember Jesus is our Savior in the little things so that when the big things come, we don't wonder where he's at. We don't wonder if he's far or if he's close because we remember each day that he's there. So that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how Jesus is our Savior in the everyday, saving us every day. So do you guys remember when the time change happened a couple weeks ago? Yes. Does anyone like this time change?
Yes.
No.
You said yes?
Yes. Yeah, because you can go to bed at 7 o'clock.
Okay, another thing I don't like this time change.
Oh.
I'm just telling you all the things I don't like tonight. I don't like this time change because it made the days feel shorter and it made me feel like I couldn't accomplish much, right? So that's where I want to talk about. How do we navigate this darkness? When we're going through it, how do we remember Jesus is our Savior? So I think it's a twofold thing. I think there's two things we need to remember. Number one, that we need to look for lights. Number two is that we need to be intentional. Now, what do I mean? I want to go to a passage in Isaiah tonight. It's Isaiah 9. What's happening in this passage is Isaiah, who is a prophet, meaning he gets messages from God, is giving this message to these people. Let me tell you about these people. God delivered them from slavery, took them out of slavery, delivered them, really hard thing to deliver them from. Big moment, big thing that he saved them from. He also defeated their enemies. Armies of enemies he defeated. Another big moment that Jesus saved them from. So how do they respond? They start worshiping other idols. They start looking to other things for hope because they can't remember in the little things. They can remember the big things that he's done, but it's the everyday that they forget to remember about Jesus. So I want to look at this passage And if you think about it, it's God speaking through Isaiah to give this encouragement. So he says, the people who walk in darkness will see a great light. For those who live in a land of deep darkness, a light will shine. What sticks out to me about this verse is that last little part. It says a light will shine. It doesn't say a light may shine. It doesn't say a light probably will shine. God is promising a light, and he's promising that it's there, which means we have to be intentional about finding it. We have to be intentional about pursuing it. So I'm in this small group, and we do this thing called accountability, which means we basically give ourselves a challenge, go about it throughout the week, and then come back and report how we did. So when I noticed this darkness was creeping in on my life, I noticed that I was discouraged. I noticed that I needed some positivity in my life. So I challenged myself. I want to write 5 positive things a day on this note, because I want to see the light. I want to be intentional about seeing the light. Here's my note after about a week. Absolutely failed, because I wasn't being intentional. Because I was letting the darkness come over me and take over me. It was because I was just letting the darkness be my focus. I knew there was light, but I was passive about the way I was chasing it. I was passive about each and every day and not being intentional to seek God throughout each and every day. I thought he'd be there. He'll be there somewhere, but it's not apparent. I want to go to a passage in Jeremiah now. Jeremiah was another prophet, came decades after Isaiah. Okay, he came decades after. Prophet meaning he got messages from God to deliver. So I told you how the people that Isaiah was preaching to, they were worshiping idolatry deep in it, right? Well, decades later, people are still doing the same exact thing. Isn't that us sometimes? Like we get stuck in these patterns of trying to find hope in the different things. We revert back to old patterns. Maybe we revert back to that website that we tell no one about. Maybe we go to that vape. Maybe we go to those friends. Maybe we go to alcohol, drugs. Whatever it is, we may revert back to that. And that's what the people did here too. We're not far from them. But the fun thing about God is that he's still pursuing them. He's still going after them. Even though they're seeking hope in different things, and even though he's not their priority, they are his priority. So I want to read this verse. It says, "The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will fulfill the good promise I made to the people of Israel and Judah. In those days and at that time, I will make a righteous branch sprout from David's line. He will do what is just and right in the land. In those days, Judah will be saved, and Jerusalem will live in safety. This is the name by which it will be called, the Lord our righteous Savior." Jeremiah 33, 14 through 16. If he offers me that intentionality every single day, who am I to just passively skip him every single day? Because he saves me every single day, I need to go back to him every single day.